Hey there, everybody. We're continuing on today in the book of Exodus. We've seen so far some wonderful and amazing things that the Lord has done, setting the people free from Egypt, the Israelites, and we've seen the different plagues that were brought upon the Egyptians, and how Pharaoh, he just was so stubborn, and he refused to listen to the Lord and to let the people go. And ultimately, it cost them a lot for not listening to the Lord. And we saw the Israelites go out into the wilderness, and the Red Sea get parted, and so many miracles happen along the way, and yet they complained a lot. I find it quite interesting to see how patient the Lord is through all of this with his kids. Continuing though today in chapter 19. Exactly 2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they arrived in the wilderness of Sinai. After breaking camp at Rephidim, they came to the wilderness of Sinai and set up camp there at the base of Mount Sinai. Then Moses climbed the mountain to appear before God. The Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "Give these instructions to the family of Jacob. Announce it to the descendants of Israel. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians. You know how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among all the people of the earth, for all the earth belongs to me. And you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel." So Moses returned from the mountain and called together the elders of the people and told them everything the Lord had commanded him. And all the people responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." So Moses brought the people's answer back to the Lord. And then the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud, Moses, so the people themselves can hear me when I speak with you. Then they will always trust you." Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go down and prepare the people for my arrival. Consecrate them today, and tomorrow have them wash their clothing. Be sure that they are ready on the third day, for on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai as all the people watch. Mark off a boundary all around the mountain. Warn the people, be careful. Do not go up on the mountain or even touch its boundaries. Anyone who touches the mountain will certainly be put to death. No hand may touch the person or animal that crosses the boundary. Instead, stone them or shoot them with arrows. They must be put to death. However, when the ram's horn sounds a long blast, then the people may go up on the mountain." So Moses went down to the people. He consecrated them for worship, and they washed their clothes. He told them, "Get ready for the third day, and until then abstain from having sexual intercourse." On the morning of the third day, thunder roared and lightning flashed, and a dense cloud came down on the mountain. There was a long, loud blast from a ram's horn, and all the people trembled. Moses led them out from the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. All of Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord had descended on it in the form of fire. The smoke billowed in the sky like smoke from a brick kiln, and the whole mountain shook violently. As the blast of ram's horn grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. The Lord came down on the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses climbed the mountain. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go back down and warn the people not to break through the boundaries to see the Lord, or they will die. Even the priests who regularly come near to the Lord must purify themselves, so that the Lord does not break out and destroy them." "But Lord," Moses protested, "the people cannot come up to the mountain. You already warned us. You told me mark off a boundary all around the mountain to set it apart as holy." But the Lord said, "Go down and bring Aaron back up with you. In the meantime, do not let the priests or the people break through to approach the Lord, or he will break out and destroy them." So Moses went down to the people and told them what the Lord had said. Chapter 20. Then God gave the people all these instructions. "I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other god but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of your parents upon the children. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generation of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. That includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, and any foreigners living among you. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and everything in them, but on the seventh day he rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God has given you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. When the people heard the thunder and the loud blast of the ram's horn, and when they saw the flashes of lightning and the smoke billowing from the mountain, they stood at a distance, trembling with fear. And they said to Moses, You speak to us, and we will listen, but don't let God speak directly to us, or we will die. Don't be afraid, Moses answered them, for God has come in this way to test you, and so that your fear of him will keep you from sinning. As the people stood in the distance, Moses approached the dark cloud where God was. And the Lord said to Moses, Say this to the people of Israel, You saw for yourselves that I spoke to you from heaven. Remember, you must not make any idol of silver, gold, to rival me. Build for me an altar made of earth and offer your sacrifices to me, your burnt offerings and peace offerings, your sheep and goat and your cattle. Build my altar wherever I cause my name to be remembered, and I will come to you and bless you. If you use stones to build my altar, use only natural uncut stone. Do not shape the stones with a tool, for that would make the altar unfit for holy use. Do not approach my altar by going up steps. If you do, someone might look up under your clothing and see your nakedness. That wraps up our reading for today. I wanted to go back over, and we saw in the 10 Commandments that there were the first two, which were obvious, which were loving the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, loving him alone, and then not making any idols, not raising anything up higher than the Lord in your life. And then, we saw these other ones, honoring your father and mother. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify against your neighbor or covet anything they have, and so forth. I think it's really important here to say that, I know there's a lot of movements online and in the world of Christianity that say all different things about what is for now and what's not for now, and the Lord took care of all that at the cross. He took care of all our sins at the cross, okay? He doesn't remember our sins anymore. In fact, when Jesus died on the cross, he didn't just atone for our sins. He made us right with God. He restored us, because now the Father sees him when he looks at us. He sees Jesus. But that doesn't mean that these things aren't important anymore, guys. These are things that if we do them, they'll hurt us. If we kill someone, that'll hurt us. And so, of course, the Lord still doesn't want us to kill anybody or commit adultery or to steal or to covet. Because what does that bring? Stealing. Okay, you go to jail. The Lord's not going to stop you from going to jail suddenly, now that you're saved, if you go out and steal. I'm not saying to be sin conscious or anything like that. I'm just saying, yes, there is grace for us now, and we are forgiven completely of everything past, present, and future. This is not a license to run out and do whatever you want, though. As we grow in the Lord and as we get to know who we are in him, we will naturally not want to do anything that would make Papa sad, or that he has warned us would hurt us. So I just wanted to throw that in on this particular message today to remind you, it's a growing process in the Lord. And as we get to know Him more through reading His Word and through talking to Him and through disciples, through other people mentoring us, we'll grow and we'll desire less and less to do the things that we used to do. And that there is grace. There is indeed grace for us. And even when we mess up, it's not going to be held against us. It's just that we don't want to mess up anymore. We're going to fall in love with Him more and more every day as we grow and not want to do the things that we used to do. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.